Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us today. On behalf of BM Infotrade, I'd like to welcome you all to today's webinar. I am Anushka Mathur, and I'll be your host for today's session. We are really glad to have you here with us. Today, we are going to talk about something that many organizations struggle with, the data silos. As businesses grow, data often gets scattered across multiple systems, making it difficult to get a unified view and take quick and informed decision. And that's where today's topic comes in, breaking data silos, building an end to end analytics platform with Microsoft Fabric. Before we begin, let me quickly walk you through what we'll be covering today. We'll start with understanding the challenges caused by data silos in organization. Then we'll explore how Microsoft Fabric helps unify data and build an end to end analytics platform. We'll also look at the practical use cases and best practices. And finally, we'll have a Q&A session where you can ask your questions. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat anytime during the session. Today, we are joined by Mr. Pankaj Gupta, who is Senior Data Engineer, and Ms. Shruti Jain, who is a Data Engineer. With that, I'd like to invite Shruti Jain to take the session forward. Over to you, Shruti.
Everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Now, let me walk you through what we have planned for today's session. And as you can see, we have four key areas to cover, starting with Introduction to Microsoft Fabric, where we will set the foundation. We will look at what Fabric actually is, the problem it was built to solve, and why it matters right now. From there, we move into core components of Microsoft Fabric, the building blocks that make up the platform and how each one fits together. Then we tackle the question you're probably already thinking about, traditional data stack versus Microsoft Fabric. Which one makes sense for you? We will do an honest side by side comparison so you can walk away with a clear answer. And finally, key features, impact, and real world use cases. Because understanding the platform is one thing, but seeing what it actually delivers in practice is what really matters. So, four topics, a focused session, and plenty of time for discussion along the way. Let us get started. Before we talk about any solution, let's take an honest look at the problem. Think about your organization right now. Data is pouring in from everywhere: your ERP, your CRM, IoT devices, Excel files, APIs. The volume is only growing. That is the data explosion. And to manage all of it, most organizations have ended up with multiple tools: one for storage, one for reporting, one for integration. The result? A fragmented ecosystem where nothing talks to each other cleanly. When data lives in silos, different teams pull different numbers from different systems, and nobody is quite sure which version of the truth is correct. And because of all that complexity, reporting becomes slow. And slow reporting means delayed decision. Now look at what that fragmentation actually leads to on the ground. And this is where it really starts to hurt. Teams struggle to collaborate because they are working on different tools. The same data gets stored in multiple places, creating duplication and confusion. Data quality suffers. Inaccurate or incomplete information starts driving the wrong decision. Processes that should be automated are still being done manually. And perhaps most critically, there is no real time visibility. By the time insight reaches the people who need it, the moment to act has already passed. This is the fragmented data ecosystem that most organizations are living with today. And this is exactly the problem that Microsoft Fabric was designed to solve. Let me paint a clear picture that I So we have seen the problem. Now let's talk about the answer. Microsoft Fabric is an end-to-end unified SaaS analytics platform. And I want you to hold on to that word unified because that is the whole point. Think about what organizations were doing before. You had Azure Data Factory for moving data, Synapse for warehousing, Power BI for reporting, all separate tools, all separate teams, all separate costs. And what did that give you? Silos, duplication, and complexity. Microsoft Fabric looks at all of that and says, what if you didn't need any of that juggling? One platform, one place for your data from the moment it enters your organization to the moment it becomes a decision on someone's desk. It all happens inside Fabric. No handoff, no gaps, no data lost between systems. And because it is SaaS, Microsoft manage the infrastructure. You just log in and get to work. It is not an upgrade to your existing stack. It is fundamentally different way of thinking about data. Now let's go one level deeper into what Fabric actually is as a product. Fabric is designed as a single product, and I want to emphasize that word single, not a collection of service, not a bundle of tools with a common login. One product built from the ground up to cover the entire data lifecycle. We are talking about ingestion, storage, transformation, analysis, and visualization, all flowing seamlessly inside one environment. No handoffs between systems, no data getting lost in translation. And three things make it enterprise ready from day one. It is cloud native, built specifically for the cloud. So you get the full benefit of speed, flexibility, and reliability. It is scalable. Whether you are a 50% company or a 50,000-person enterprise, Fabric grows with you. You never have to rethink your architecture as your data grows. And it is multi tenant, meaning it is designed to serve organizations of all size across all industries without compromising on performance or security. Now, let's look at the key principles that Fabric is built on, because this is what truly sets it apart. First, it is unified data platform. Your data engineering, data science, and analytics team all working on the same platform. No more switching between tools, no more context switching, no more version conflict. Everything your data people need in one place. Second is one lake integration. Think of one lake as your organization's single source of truth. One centralized data lake for everyone. No more asking which system has the right number because there is only one place your data lives. Now, third is end-to-end analytics. And this is the one that ties it all together. From the moment data enters your organization, all the way through to the dashboard on your screen, it all happens inside one environment. No handoffs, no gaps, no data getting lost between steps. Now, these three principles alone already solve the biggest pain point we talked about on the previous slide. Fragmentation gone, silos gone, inconsistent data gone. And we still have three more principles to go. So let's keep moving. And here are the final three principles, and honestly, these are the ones that make Fabric future proof. AI powered insight. This is where it gets exciting. Fabric has built in AI and Microsoft Copilot capabilities, which means tasks that used to take your time hours, data preparation, analysis, generating insight, can now be automated. Your people spend less time wrestling with data and more time actually acting on it. That is a genuine shift in productivity. Now, scalability and performance. Because Fabric is a cloud native, it is built to handle whatever you throw it at it. Small team running a pilot today, no problem. Enterprise processing petabytes tomorrow, still no problem. You never hit a ceiling and you never have to re architect. It simply scales with you. Now, security and governance, and this one is non negotiable, especially for organizations in regulated industries. Fabric provides enterprise grade security, compliance, and data governance across every single workload on the platform, not tool by tool, not system by system, across everything consistently. So, there you have it, six principles that together make Fabric not just a better tool, but a smarter, safer, and more scalable way to run your entire data operation. With that foundation in place, let's now go inside the platform and look at the core components. All right, this is where it gets really interesting. Let's look at what is actually inside Microsoft Fabric. Think of these six components. Each one plays a specific role, and together they cover everything. One lake, your entire organization data in one single location. No more duplicate copies, one lake, one truth. Data factory. This is how your data gets into Fabric. It picks up data from any source, any format, and brings it in automatically. Pipelines built, scheduled, and running without manual effort. Warehouse. Once your data arrive, it needs a structured home. The warehouse stores your clean, business ready data so your teams can query it fast and report with confidence. Power BI. This is where data becomes visible to the business. Interactive dashboard, live reports, real-time KPIs. This is what your leadership actually sees and act on. Data science. This is where you stop looking at what happened and start predicting what is going to happen. Machine learning, advanced analytics, all built right into the platform. And finally, real time intelligence. Streaming data processed and analyzed the moment it arrives, not in the morning report, right now as it happens. Six components, one platform, everything connected. Let's go deeper into the first component, which is One Lake. At its core, One Lake is a modern data architecture that gives you the best of both worlds, the flexibility of a data lake as well as the structure of a data warehouse. Both are combined into one. What that means practically is that it stores everything in one place, your structured data like tables and database, and your unstructured data like files, logs, and image. No separation, no duplication, no confusion about where things live. It supports Spark for big data processing, and SQL for analytics. So, whether your team prefers working with large scale data processing or standard queries, they can do both without moving the data anywhere. And then there is the Medallion architecture. And this is a really elegant concept. Your data moves through three layers: bronze, raw data, exactly as it comes in. Silver, cleaned and validated data. Gold, fully curated, business ready data. So by the time data reach your decision makers, it has gone through every quality check. It is accurate, it is reliable, and it is ready to act on. One lake is essentially the foundation that every other fabric component is built on. Get this right, and everything else flows from it. Now let's talk about data factory. And if one lake is where your data lives, data factory is how it gets there. In simple terms, it is a data integration service that collects, transforms, and moves data from any source into the Fabric platform. Whether that data is sitting in an ERP system, a CRM, a cloud application, or even a basic Excel file, Data Factory picks it up and brings it in, clean and ready to use. Four things make it powerful: data pipelines and workflow automation, as you can see on the screen. Instead of your team manually moving data from one place to another, that entire process is automated. It runs on a schedule in the background without anyone having to trigger it. Second is ETL and ELT data processing. It can either transform your data before loading it or load it first and transform it after, flexible enough to handle whatever your use case requires. Now, data flows, a visual drag and drop interface for shaping and preparing data. No complex code needed. Your team can build transformation logic without being a developer. And built-in monitoring. So if something breaks in your pipeline, you know about it immediately. No silent failures, no waking up to missing data in the morning. The result, your data arrives in Fabric on time in the right format every single time automatically. Next up, the warehouse. And this is where your structured business ready data gets stored and queried. The warehouse in Microsoft Fabric is a SQL based analytics engine, which means it is specifically designed to work with structured, tabular data. The kind of clean, organized data that your analyzed and reporting teams work with every day. Three things worth highlighting here. First, it works with standard SQL queries. Your data teams do not need to learn a new language or a new tool. If they know SQL, they are ready to go from day one. No learning curve, no retraining. Second, it is optimized for BI reporting and enterprise dashboard. It is built to handle the large, complex queries that power your executive dashboards without slowing down. Fast queries mean faster insight. And third, seamless integration with Power BI and semantic model. This is a big one. The data sitting in your warehouse flows directly into your Power BI reports. No manual export, no scheduled transfer. Your reports are always pulling from the most current, accurate data available. So, in short, the warehouse is your organization's fast, reliable, and governed layer of data that your business teams can support from with complete confidence. And now we get to the component that your business teams will feel most directly: Power BI. Most organizations already know Power BI as a reporting tool. But inside Microsoft Fabric, it is not just a tool connected to the platform, but it is fully embedded into it. And that distinction changes everything. This is where all the hard work happening behind the scene, the data ingestion, the warehouse, the processing, finally becomes visible to the business. Raw data gets transformed into interactive dashboard, live reports and KPIs that leadership can actually see and act on. Now here is what makes this genuinely different from traditional Power BI setups. Direct lake mode. In the old way of working, Power BI would import data and refresh it on a schedule, meaning your reports were only as current as the last refresh, an hour old or sometimes a day old. With direct lake mode, Power BI queries data directly from one lake in real time. No import, no delay. What happened 5 minutes ago is already on the dashboard. And then there is the Microsoft 365 integration. Teams, Excel, SharePoint. Your leadership does not need to log into a separate platform to share their reports. The insights are right there inside the tools they are already using every day. This is what we deliver for our client, a reporting environment where the data is always live, always accurate, and always accessible to the right people at the right time. This is the standard we build to. Now, this is where Microsoft Fabric moves beyond just reporting and into something far more powerful. Most organizations are good at looking backward. What happened last month, last quarter, or last year? Data science in Fabric changed that. It gives organizations the ability to look forward, building machine learning models, analyzing data, and generating predictive insights all within the same environment without jumping to a separate platform. There is built-in notebooks for Python and R in Fabric, the two most widely used language in data science today. No setup, no configuration, ready to go from day one. Second, integration with machine learning frameworks. Industry standard tools natively connected. No compatibility issues, no extra licensing, no additional setup required. Now, data exploration and model training. Explore large data set, identify patterns, test hypotheses, and train predictive models all in one place. What used to take weeks gets done in a fraction of the time. And the real advantage, direct access to large scale data from one lake. Because all the data is already centralized, the data science team can access it instantly at any scale, no waiting for export, no chasing permission across multiple systems. The result is an organization that does not just understand what happened, it can predict what is coming next. And in today's environment, this is a serious competitive advantage. And the final component, real time intelligence. And this one is exactly what it sounds like. Most reporting systems work on a delay. Data gets collected, processed overnight, and lands in a report the next morning. By the time someone reads it, the moment to act has already passed. Real time intelligence flips that entirely. It collects, process, and analyze the data moment it is generated, not an hour later, not after an overnight batch, right now as it happens. Three things make this work. It processes live streaming data, transactions, sensor readings, website activity, operational event captured and processed instantly as they come in. It provides instant insight. So instead of waiting for a morning report, teams have happening at this very moment, and it supports real-time dashboard live, continuously updating views of the business that managers and leadership can monitor at any point in the day. The difference this makes is significant. Organizations stop reacting to yesterday's problems and start responding to what is happening right now, while there's still time to do something about it. That is the power of real time intelligence, and it is one of the most impactful capabilities inside Microsoft Fabric. Now, let me walk this real with a quick example everyone will relate to. Picture an e commerce platform receiving thousands of orders every minute. Here is what happens with real time intelligence running in the background. A customer places an order. That order data is immediately sent to the analytics system, not batch, not queued instantly. The system analyzes that data in real time alongside every other order coming in simultaneously. Managers are looking at live sale dashboard. They know exactly how many orders have come in, which product are moving, how revenue is tracking, all of this very moment. And here is where it gets really valuable. If a product is selling fast and slow, stock is running low, the system automatically alert the inventory team to restock before the product ever goes out of stock. No missed sale, no frustrated customer, No manager finding out the next morning that the best seller ran out hours ago. The business is responding to what is happening right now, not what happened yesterday. That is real time intelligence in action. Now we have covered a lot of ground on the components. So before we move forward, I want to show you a short video straight from Microsoft Fabric that brings everything we have just covered. It is only a minute and a half, so have a watch.
Power your AI transformation by bringing all your teams and data together on one complete AI-powered data platform, Microsoft Fabric. With OneLake, you get an open and AI-ready data lake for the entire organization that can connect to data from anywhere in multiple ways, so that all users are working from the same copy across analytics engines. From data integration to data engineering, data science to real-time intelligence, your data professionals have all the tools they need in a pre-integrated and optimized SaaS environment. And they can extend Fabric further with native industry-specific workloads. With the new Fabric databases, you can provision simple, autonomous, and AI-optimized databases in seconds, ready to unlock innovative new scenarios for AI transformation. For large volumes of in-motion data, you can use real-time intelligence to ingest, transform, and explore data for instant insights. And you can define criteria to trigger downstream actions. All this intelligence can then securely flow to Power BI and the Microsoft 365 applications your people use every day, informing their decision-making with insights right where and when they need data the most. And everything is backed by category-leading security, governance, and compliance capabilities. Plus, Fabric empowers your people to accelerate productivity with Copilot and built-in generative AI features. All your data, all your teams, all in one place. This is Microsoft Fabric.
Great, I hope that gave you a clear picture of Microsoft. Now let's keep moving. Now let's talk about Fabric capacity. This is what powers everything running under the hood. It provides dedicated compute and storage resources for all workloads in Microsoft Fabric. It comes in different size called SKUs, starting from F2, as you can see on the screen, and all the way up to F2048. The logic is simple. Higher SKU, more compute power. F2, F4, F8, F16, F32, F64, and beyond. Each step means more speed, more user, and larger data volumes handled with ease. Three things this enable: dedicated compute. The organization gets its own resources, not shared with anyone else. Consistent performance, easy time. Better performance, faster pipelines, quicker queries, dashboard that load instantly, less waiting, more doing. Scalability, start small, grow as needed. The platform scales with the business without rebuilding anything from scratch. Start from where you are, scale as you grow. That is the beauty of Fabric. Now let's get specific about capacity tier, starting with the two entry level options F2 and F4. F2, two capacity units. This is the starting point, best suited for learning, development, and small analytics project. It supports around 5 to 10 concurrent users at a time and works well with small datasets. A great practical use case here is running Power BI embedded dashboard without individual license, which is a significant cost saving for smaller team. Now F4 capacity, 4 capacity units, double the compute power. This is where smaller production workload comes in. It handles about 10 to 25 concurrent users simultaneously and supports medium data sets of around 5 to 10 gigabytes. Ideal for small teams that are already using embedded analytics in their day-to-day operations. As the note at the F2 is perfect for testing, demos, and learning environment, while F4 is the right fit for every small workloads or small project teams. Think of this two tier as the ideal starting point: low cost, low risk, and enough power to prove the value of Fabric before scaling up further. Moving up the tier F8 and F16, this is where organizations start to see serious performance gain. F8, it 8 capacity units built for medium-sized analytics workload. It handles up to 25 to 50 concurrent users at a time. So multiple teams across the organization can be working on the platform at the same time without any slowdown. Faster refresh rate, better query performance, and the ideal fit for departmental level reporting and analytics. Now moving on the F16 capacity, it gives 16 capacity units. Now we are stepping into enterprise territory, 50 to 100 concurrent users, large data sets of 20 to 40 gigabytes, and built specifically for enterprise dashboards and large scale data pipelines. This is the tier where organization wide reporting becomes a reality. F8 and F16 are designed for growing workloads, supporting small to medium teams that need better performance and the ability to handle more users without compromising on speed. If F2 and F4 are where organizations start, F8 and F16 are where they grow. And now the top and F62 and F64. This is where Fabric truly demonstrates its enterprise grade capabilities. F32, 32 capacity units built for enterprise level analytics. It handles 100 to 300 concurrent users at a time, high speed processing, and large dataset support. The primary use case here is organization wide BI platforms, where business intelligence is not just a departmental tool, but a capability the entire organization relies on. F64, 64 capacity units. This is for large scale enterprise analytics at its most demanding. 32,000 plus users simultaneously, datasets of 1000 gigabytes and above, and built specifically for global organization and real time analytics platform where data is flowing in from multiple regions and thousands of users need access at the same time. F32 and F64 are enterprise grade capabilities built for large data sets, heavy workloads, and high user concurrency. No ceiling, no compromise on performance, just the power to match the scale of the organization. Now let's talk about Power BI embedded. And this is one that often gets overlooked but delivers serious value. Power BI embedded allow organization to integrate interactive dashboard and reports directly into their own web application, portal, or internal system. Instead of users logging into Power BI separately, the reports are right there inside the platform they're already using every day. Seamless, familiar, and instant. But here is what makes it really compelling from a business perspective. Organization can deliver analytics to both internal and external user without requiring an individual Power BI license for every single viewer. That is a significant cost advantage. Instead of paying per user, it is covered by the capacity model and it does not sacrifice anything on security. Secure authentication, access control, and scalable performance are all built inside the Power BI embedded. So the right people see the right data and sensitive information stays protected at all times. The result is an organization that can distribute insight efficiently to employees, to customers, to partners at scale Without the licensing cost growing as the user base grows. More rich, lower cost, full security. That is Power BI embedded. Now let's look at the six key features of Power BI embedded, and each one of these adds real tangible value. Feature 1 is secure website integration. Dashboard and reports embed directly and securely into any website, portal, or internal application. No separate login, no separate platform. Feature 2 is license free report viewing. Any number of users can view report without individual Power BI license. The cost is covered by capacity, not by headcount. Feature 3 is external user distribution. Analytics can be shared not just with internal teams but also with customers and partners without giving them access to the broader platform. Feature 4 is large scale analytics distribution. Built to deliver reports to large number of users simultaneously without any drop in performance regardless of how many people are accessing it at once. Feature 5 is row level security. Every user sees only the data they are authorized to see. One report, different views automatically controlled. Feature 6 is scalable performance with dedicated capacity. As user numbers and data volume grow, performance scales with it. No bottlenecks, no slowdowns. Six features that together make Power BI Embedded one of the most cost effective and secure ways to distribute analytics across an entire organization. Let me bring Power BI Embedded to life with a real scenario that many organizations will immediately recognize. Consider a company with 100 plus employees. The MD, executives, manager, sales team, from all of whom need access to business dashboard, right? So sales performance, revenue report, operational metrics, standard stuff that every level of the organization need to see. Sounds straightforward, but here is where the cost problem kicks in. Under the traditional Power BI licensing model, every single one of those users needs an individual Power BI Pro license at around $10 per user per month. Do the maths, 100 users, that is $1,000 every single month just for the ability to view report. Nothing else, just viewing. And that number only grows. More employees, more department, more stakeholders who need visibility. Every new person added means another $10 on the bill, month after month. That is the exact problem that organizations run into when they try to democratize access to their data. The licensing cost becomes a barrier, and this is precisely what Power BI Embedded solves, which we will see on the very next slide. Now, here is the solution, and it is elegant in its simplicity. Instead of assigning an individual license to every employee, the company embeds Power BI dashboard directly into a secure internal portal. Everyone accesses their report through the portal they already use every day. No separate login, no extra license required. Here is how it works in practice. Dashboards are created in Power BI exactly the same way as always. Nothing changes in how reports are built. They are then embedded inside the company portal. So when an employee logs in, the reports are right there, part of their normal workflow. Employees simply log in and view their dashboard. Seamless, familiar, zero friction. And row level security controls exactly what each person sees. The MD sees the full picture. The sales manager sees their region. The finance team sees financial data. Everyone gets what they need and only what they need. The result? $1,000 a month in licensing cost gone. Better user experience, tighter data security, all without changing how reports are built or how teams work. That is the power of Power BI embedded in action. Now, this is something that makes Microsoft Fabric even more valuable, especially for all organizations already in the Microsoft world. Fabric does not separate in isolation. It integrates seamlessly with the tools and services most organizations are already using every single day. Microsoft 365 integration. Fabric connect directly with Excel, Teams, and SharePoint. What that means in practice is that insights generated inside Fabric do not stay logged in a separate analytics platform. They flow straight into the tools teams are already working in. An analyst connect data to Excel. A manager shares a report in Teams. Leadership access dashboard through SharePoint. No extra steps, no switching platforms. And look at the diagram on the right. Fabric also connect external data sources like Azure, Dynamics 365, SQL Server, Redshift, Google BigQuery, Snowflake, SAP, and more. Whatever data lives, Fabric can connect to it. Copilot in Fabric. And then there is Copilot Microsoft AI powered assistant built directly into Fabric. Instead of needing technical expertise to work with data, users simply describe what they need in plain language. Copilot generate queries, write code for you, and analyze data automatically. The result is a platform that fits into the way teams already work and makes every person in the organization more productive with their data. Before we move into our next session, I want to show you a short video directly from Microsoft that nicely summarizes everything we have covered so far. Great. I hope that gave you solid visual summary of the platform and how it all fits together. Let's move forward. Now let's talk about what Microsoft Fabric actually deliver as a business outcome. Starting with the first four benefit, end-to-end unified data analytics platform. No more managing multiple disconnected tools. The entire analytics journey from data ingestion all the way to reporting happens in one single platform. Less complexity, lower cost. Second, built-in seamless data integration capabilities. Data from hundreds of different sources connect, moves, and transform natively without needing separate integration tools or manual process. It is all built in out of the box. Benefit 3 is advanced lakehouse architecture support. The flexibility of a data lake combined with the performance of a data warehouse in one environment. Both raw and structured data can be stored, processed, and queried efficiently without duplication or entire infrastructure. Benefit 4 is seamless integration with Microsoft Power BI. Reports and dashboards are always connected to live data. No manual refresh, no manual exports or delays, no outdated numbers reaching leadership. What is in the data is what is on the dashboard instantly. Four benefits, and each one directly address a pain point that most organizations are dealing with right now. And there are four more to come. And here are the final four benefits, and these are the ones that really future proof of the platform. Benefit 5 is support for open and standard data formats. Data is stored in open, industry standard formats, which means the organization is never logged into a proprietary system. Data stays accessible, portable, and flexible. Long term technology decisions remain in the organization hands, not the vendor. Benefit 6 is simplified and centralized data governance. Instead of managing governance policies across five different tools separately, Fabric consolidate everything into one place. Security policies, compliance rules, and access control are defined once and applied consistently across the entire platform. Benefit 7 is automated and efficient data processing. Repetitive, time consuming data processing tasks are automated. Teams spend less time on manual work, and the speed at which data moves from source to decision increases significantly. Now, the last one is integrated AI and machine learning capabilities. AI and machine learning are native to Fabric, not bolted on separately. This moves organization from simply understanding what happened to predicting to what is going to happen next, all without leaving the platform. Eight benefits, each one solving a problem. Together, they represent a fundamentally better way to manage, process, and act on data. Now, let's talk about what this actually means for the business. Because technology obviously only matter when it translates into real outcomes. So the first one is faster and more efficient decision making. Data is available in real time. Reports are always current. Decision gets faster and with far greater confidence. Real time data insights and analytics. Organizations stop reacting to yesterday's data and start responding to what is happening right now while there is still time to act. Third one is unified and centralized data platform. Every team, every department working from the same data. No more silos, no more conflicting numbers, no more version confusion. Fourth one is better and simplified data management. One platform is significantly easier, cheaper, and less error prone to manage than five separate systems. Fifth one is improve team collaboration and data sharing. When everyone is working in the same environment, sharing data and collaborating becomes natural, not a process. Sixth is highly scalable platform. The platform grows with the business. No re-architecture, no rebuilding from scratch. Seventh is better cost efficiency and resource optimization. Consolidating onto one platform reduces licensing, integration, and operational cost across the board. It is enhanced and interactive data visualization. Through Power BI, data becomes clear, visual, and accessible to every level of the organization. 8 impact, all directly felt by the business. Let's bring everything to life with a real world example. And this one is a scenario most of you will immediately recognize. A large retail company operating across multiple stores was struggling with a very common problem. Managing sales data, customer behavior, and inventory information from multiple stores was difficult and efficient, right? Everything was scattered, nothing was connected. And by the time reports were ready, the moment to act had already passed. The solution, they implemented Microsoft Fabric, specifically using one lake to bring all that data together. and Power BI to analyze and visualize it in real time. No more scattered systems, no more waiting. The result, the impact was immediate and the numbers speak for themselves. Total sales reached $8.75 million dollars with a 16.7% growth. But beyond the numbers, three things change operationally. Real time tracking of sales across every store simultaneously. Managers knew exactly what was happening at any moment. Better inventory management, improved customer insight, one platform, real results. This is Microsoft Fabric in action. Our second case study, manufacturing, and this one is very relatable. A machine on the factory floor starts showing signs of failure under the old system. Nobody knows until the morning report. By then, the machine is down, production is stopped, and costs are mounting. That is the cost of slow reporting. The company implemented Microsoft Fabric real time intelligence, collecting live data directly from factory machines and sensors continuously. The results were clear. Machines monitored in real time, failures detected early, production downtime reduced. The shift was simple from finding out about problems the next morning to preventing them before they happen. This is real time intelligence. Now, a direct comparison between Microsoft Fabric versus traditional stack. Let's go through it quickly. Point one is traditional stack means multiple separate tools ADF, Synapse, Databricks, Power BI, all managed independently. Fabric replace all of that with one unified platform. Point two is traditional stack has data scattered across multiple storage systems, duplication, inconsistency, confusion. Fabric centralize everything in one lake, one single source of truth. Point three is traditional stack requires complex, custom built-in integrations between every service, expensive to build, fragile to maintain. Point four is multiple tools means multiple license, multiple infrastructure cost. Fabric deliver optimized, predictable cost through a single unified capacity model. Point five is multiple tools means multiple interface, multiple logins, multiple learning curve. Fabric gives everyone one single user experience, whether engineers, analysts, and business users. The conclusion is clear. What previously required five separate tools, five budgets, and five teams now happens in one place. That is the difference Microsoft Fabric makes. Now, let me make the traditional data stack real with a practical example. Take an online retail company collecting data from three different systems: website sales, customer data from the CRM, and inventory from the warehouse. Three sources, three formats, three separate locations. To bring it all together, the company uses Azure Data Factory to build pipelines that extract data from each source, transform it into a common format, and load into a central warehouse. Analysts can then finally access clean, structured data for reporting. Sounds reasonable, but think about what this actually involves behind the scene. A separate tool for each step, a team to build and maintain every pipeline. Any change to one source system means updating multiple pipelines. And if anything breaks anywhere in that chain, the entire data flow stops. Every step is a separate process. Every connection is a potential failure point, and every update requires engineering time and cost. This is the hidden complexity of a traditional stack. It works, but it is fragile, expensive, and time consuming to maintain. And this is exactly the complexity that Microsoft Fabric eliminate. This diagram shows exactly what a traditional data stack looks like in practice, and I want you to notice one thing. Count the number of separate tools involved. Data comes in from multiple sources: Salesforce, Oracle, SAP HANA, NetSuite, and other. First, it hits ADF, which handles the ingestion and movement of data. From there, it flows into ADLS Gen 2 for storage, then into Databricks, where the Medallion architecture is applied: bronze, silver, and gold to clean and structure the data. The processed data then moves into a data warehouse, passes through analytics service, and finally reach Power BI for reporting. Every arrow on this diagram is a separate integration. Every box is a separate tool. Every connection is a separate point of potential failure. And maintaining all of this requires multiple specialist teams, multiple license, and significant ongoing cost. This is the complexity Microsoft Fabric replaces with one single connected platform. So why does the same company move to Microsoft Fabric? Simple. As the business grows, managing multiple tools for integration, storage, and analytics doesn't stay the same. It gets more complex, more expensive, and harder to control. Microsoft Fabric solves this with three things: a unified analytics platform, data integration, processing, and visualization all in one place. No more separate tools for each step. Centralized storage with one lake. All data from all sources in one single location. No duplication, no confusion. Built in Power BI dashboards. Reporting is no longer a separate step. Insights are live, always connected, always current. Same data, same team, one platform. That is the difference. So, after seeing all that complexity, here is the turning point. The company reaches a stage where the tools are managing them. Rather than managing the tools, this is when the decision to move to Microsoft Fabric becomes obvious. Everything together comes in one place: integration, processing, and visualization handled by a single platform. No juggling, no handoffs, all data stored centrally in one lake, and Power BI dashboards built right in. So the moment data is ready, the business can see it. Less complexity, less cost, faster answer. The same company, the same data, just a much smarter way of working with it. One topic that is always top of mind for any organization evaluating a data platform is governance and security. Now, here it is a short video of governance and security. As you just saw, governance and security in Microsoft Fabric are not afterthoughts. They are built into the foundation of the platform. Every workload, every user, every piece of data protected and governed from day one. Let's move into the next slide. Governance and security. And for any organization handling sensitive data, this is obviously a non-negotiable. Microsoft Fabric provides built-in governance, security, and compliance across the entire platform. Not tool by tool, not system by system, everything covered consistently in one place. 5 key features that make this possible. Role based access control. People access only what their role requires, nothing more, nothing less. Row level security. Even within the same report, different users see only the data they are authorized for, automatically enforced. Data lineage. Every piece of data is traceable back to its origin through every transformation, critical for audits and compliance. Data governance. Policies and standards applied consistently across every workload on the platform. Data protection, encryption, classification, and access controls keeping sensitive information secure at all times. And look at the diagram. Data security, access management, threat protection, and compliance all working together around one central platform. Security is not just a feature in Fabric, it is the foundation. And this is a wrap on today's session. We covered the problem, the platform, the components, real world use case, and the security foundation that hold it all together. The key takeaway Microsoft Fabric is not just a technology upgrade, it is a smarter, faster, and more cost effective way to run your entire data operation. Before we close, does anyone have any questions?
Okay, so now we're open for question and answers. If you have any doubt, any question, you can ask us. If you have any question, you can drop the question in the chat box. All right, I guess we don't have any questions here. All right, with that, we come to the end of today's session. I hope this session gave you some clear insights and practical understanding of how you can bring all your data together and make it more actionable. On behalf of BM Infotrade, I'd like to thank all of you for taking your time to join us today. We truly appreciate your participation. And special thanks to Shruti Jain and Pankaj Gupta for sharing their insights and walking us through the session. Um, okay, thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you.